Picture this. It's a Monday morning in June 2026. A developer opens up his GitHub billing page. You know, something he's done 100 times before, probably without even thinking about it.
His bill from last month? $29. His bill this month, for the exact same amount of work? $612. And here's the crazy part. He is absolutely not alone. On June 1st, 2026, GitHub Copilot made a massive switch from flat subscription pricing to token-based billing. And literally within 48 hours, one of the most explosive developer backlashes in tech history erupted.
Let me put this in perspective. One developer made a single request, just one, not a whole day of usage, not a massive hours-long session, one single code change, and it cost him $6.14. Keep in mind, 4.7 million developers pay for this tool, and millions of them woke up on June 1st only to realize that the AI coding assistant they built their entire workflow around had changed the fundamental deal. And they did it quietly too, burying the details in an FAQ section on a GitHub discussion thread.
This is the explainer. Here is exactly what changed, who it hits hardest, and what every developer should do right now.
Section 1, Flat Rate Pricing is dead, from gym to taxi.
So, for 3 years, GitHub Copilot basically worked like a gym membership. You pay a flat monthly fee, and you use it as much as you want, right? Heavy users, light users, everybody pays the exact same price. Well, on June 1st, 2026, the gym closed. Every session now runs on a meter. GitHub replaced that flat subscription model with something they call AI credits, where 1 credit equals 1 cent. Now, a $10 monthly plan gets you 1,000 credits. That sounds like a lot until you realize what a single working session actually costs. An agentic session on a frontier model, the kind where Copilot reads your entire code base, understands the context, and makes smart edits, that can easily eat up 30,000 tokens before you even clock out for the day. At current rates, that single session costs between 30 and 40 credits. Meaning, a $10 subscriber is going to burn through their entire monthly allowance in just one afternoon. And here's a massive change that barely got any coverage. Under the old system, when you ran out of premium requests, Copilot just fell back to a cheaper model. You still had a safety net. You could keep working. But under this new system, when your credits hit 0, the premium features just stop. The meter hits 0, and you're done. The developers who are reporting these crazy extreme costs are the exact same people who got the most value from Copilot to begin with. They're the ones running complex agentic workflows, doing serious refactoring, and using the tools that actually make Copilot powerful. Honestly, the power users are getting punished first. The post that really lit the fuse on this whole thing was super simple. A developer wrote, "What a joke. I currently pay around $29 per month. Under the new model, my costs balloon to nearly $750. This new usage model is just stupidly expensive. I'm canceling." Another developer actually shared a screenshot showing their costs jumping from $50 to $3,000 per month. $3,000 for the exact same work.
That official GitHub community announcement got hit with 900 downvotes and 400 comments, with almost all of them just absolutely furious. TechCrunch even went so far as to call it the end of the golden age of GitHub Copilot. And one post that simply said, "Goodbye, Copilot," got shared thousands of times. It basically became the unofficial farewell for an entire community.
Section 2, Are you actually affected? Mapping the impact.
Now, not every Copilot user is getting hit equally here. This billing change basically breaks down into 3 distinct impacts, depending entirely on how you actually work. If your main workflow is just code completions, like that classic Copilot autocomplete that suggests the next line while you're typing, your bill doesn't change at all. Completions and next edit suggestions are still completely free under all plans, so you're totally safe. Now, if you use Copilot chat occasionally, say asking questions, getting quick explanations, or reviewing small snippets of code, you're definitely going to see a bill increase, but it's probably manageable. A moderate chat user who goes through about 50,000 tokens a month is looking at around $2 to $5 extra. It's noticeable, sure, but it's not catastrophic. But if you run agentic sessions, which is the most powerful and frankly the most heavily marketed feature of modern Copilot, you are directly in the crosshairs. If you're reading large code bases, running multi-file refactors, or using Copilot agent mode for autonomous tasks, you are burning through an enormous amount of tokens. And unfortunately, you were the loss-leading customer that Microsoft just couldn't afford to subsidize anymore.
Section 3, the Great Developer Migration, Evaluating the Alternatives.
So naturally, this massive billing change triggered the biggest developer tool migration since Copilot originally launched. Here's where everyone is heading. First up, Cursor. It's $20 a month flat rate with absolutely no token counting. For developers doing that heavy agentic work who just want a predictable bill every month, Cursor is the most obvious replacement. It was already the fastest-growing AI coding tool of 2026, and this Copilot change just put that growth into overdrive. They actually saw a reported 40% spike in new signups in just the first week of June. Then there's Windsurf. This is also a flat fee ranging from $20 to $200 a month. Their max tier bundles Devon Cloud and Devon Terminal for teams that really need fully autonomous long-horizon agents. For enterprise teams looking at completely bloated token bills, Windsurf's per-seat pricing suddenly looks incredibly attractive compared to Copilot Business. And lastly, Claude Code. This one runs from $17 to $100 a month, and they actually doubled their usage limits across all tiers back in May 2026. Anthrodic's terminal native coding agent runs in session windows of up to 5 hours. So if you're doing that long-horizon autonomous work that causes those insane Copilot bills, Claude Code's session-based model is just fundamentally cheaper.
Section 4. The AI bubble finally bursts. The economics of compute.
Okay, here is the harsh truth that nobody really wants to hear, mostly because it's true. Microsoft didn't do this just out of pure greed. They did it because the underlying economics of flat-fee AI were quite literally unsustainable. Think about it. Every time you run an agentic session on a model like Claude Sonnet or GPT 4.1, Microsoft is paying Anthropic or OpenAI for every single token you process. So a heavy user eating up hundreds of millions of tokens a month while only paying $29, that is a massively money-losing customer. And as these agentic workflows get more advanced, reading way more context, making more changes, running for longer, those compute costs just explode exponentially. The flat subscription model worked great back when Copilot was just a glorified autocomplete. Small context windows, quick suggestions, super cheap to run. But the second AI became agentic, that logic fell apart. Moving from, hey, suggest the next line, to go ahead and rewrite this entire module, totally flipped the cost structure upside down, and the pricing model just never caught up.
Now, let's zoom out from the individual bills for a second. Because this pricing change isn't just about GitHub. It's actually the first major crack in a business model that has driven the entire AI industry since 2022. For 4 straight years, every major AI company competed on flat-rate, all-you-can-eat pricing. You had ChatGPT at $20 a month, Copilot at $10, Claude at $20. The whole strategy was just adoption. Hook the users, build the habits, reach massive scale. The pricing was purely promotional. It was never sustainable. The raw compute costs were very real the whole time. Every session, every massive context window, every call to a frontier model costs actual money. These companies were just eating the losses to grab market share. Well, June 2026 is when they stopped eating those losses. And GitHub Copilot isn't the only one. OpenAI announced that all their ChatGPT plans would shift to AI credits by the end of June. Google's persistent AI agent Gemini Spark is now locked behind a $100 monthly tier. Anthropic raised the price on its top tier back in May. The entire AI industry did the math at the exact same time, and the direction is completely unanimous. There's no going back. The power users got an amazing deal during that flat fee era, but that era is officially ending. So now the question every developer has to ask themselves is, what is this tool actually worth to me when I have to pay the real price?
Section 5. The strategy. 5 steps to take right now.
So here's my honest advice. If you're a moderate user, just stay on Copilot and keep a very close eye on your first bill. But if you're an agentic power user building automations on massive codebases, you are exactly who this new pricing is designed to target, and you really need to seriously evaluate your options before your next billing cycle closes. Here are 5 immediate steps to take right now. Step 1. Go to GitHub's billing dashboard and export your usage data. Do this before the first full month of the new billing closes. This data is going to show you exactly which features are draining your wallet and which models are actually worth the money. Step 2. Switch over to a cheaper model for non-critical tasks. GPT 4.1 Mini costs a tiny fraction of the full GPT 4.1 for standard coding tasks. The difference in quality for routine work is minimal, but the cost difference is huge. Step 3. Configure your context limits. The absolute fastest way to run up a runaway bill is letting Copilot index your entire codebase when it only needs to look at specific files. Drop that context limit from 100,000 to 20,000 tokens, and you instantly cut your input costs by 80%. Just tell Copilot exactly which files matter for each task. Step 4. Batch your sessions. Every time you start a new chat, you're paying overhead for system prompts and context initialization. Asking 5 focused questions in one single session is way cheaper than starting 5 separate single question sessions. Plan your workout before you open a window. Step 5. Try out the alternatives before your next billing cycle hits. Cursor and Claude Code both offer free trials. Run your actual real-world workflow through them for 3 to 5 days before you commit to anything. Don't just switch because Reddit is outraged. Switch based on your own real usage data.
Look, here's the honest framing for everything we've talked about in this explainer. GitHub Copilot's billing change isn't a betrayal. It is a market correction. That promotional pricing from the golden age was never the actual cost of doing business. June 2026 is simply the moment the industry stopped pretending.
The developers who adapt, the ones who actually understand their usage, switch up their models where it makes sense, and rationally test out alternatives, they're going to be totally fine. But the ones who just blindly pay $3,000 a month without changing anything, they're really only going to have themselves to blame. The tool is still incredibly good, but the price is finally real, and both of those things can absolutely be true at the same time.
I am your host. This is The Explainer, the most important tools shaping the world in plain English every week. Subscribe and drop in the comments, are you staying on Copilot or switching? Tell me which tool you are moving to. Or are we finally entering an era where only the tech giants can afford to code with AI? See you in the next one.